This week, it seems like everyone is talking about the new Michael Jordan documentary series, The Last Dance.
Now, we're talking about The Last Dance.
Of the Michael Jordan documentary.
It aired on ESPN last night.
And it seems like the entire country was at this virtual watch party.
The series chronicles the 1997-1998 Chicago Bulls as they look to win their 6th NBA championship in the face of a general manager who's trying to dismantle the team.
Congratulations, Carol Baskin, because you are off the hot seat as the most hated person in America.
Growing up in New Jersey, I was awful at basketball. I didn't necessarily have an affiliation with a specific team, but I loved Space Jam as a little kid, and by the time I got to college, I had a Michael Jordan t-shirt and a Bulls jersey. I wanted to be associated with greatness, even though I was far from great.
I grew up in LA during the Kobe Shaq era, so I was a pretty big Lakers fan, but I even bought this Chicago Bulls hat just to like rep MJ, because he was so cool.
So for two guys who grew up watching Jordan, love sports documentaries, and actually even now make sports documentaries, we were super hyped when we saw the trailer for The Last Dance. The Last Dance was made in partnership with ESPN and Netflix, and its 10 episodes are being aired across 5 nights.
The first night that the series aired, they had over 6 million people watching, making it the most watched ESPN documentary ever.
25 of the top 30 trending topics on Twitter all were a part of this series. Everybody was watching.
Originally, The Last Dance was supposed to air in June, right after the NBA Finals, but it was pushed up to April to fill the massive void of programming on ESPN and just in general right now.
There is a massive lack of programming. ESPN has even filled its schedule sometimes airing spelling bee marathons.
But like, have you ever really sunk your teeth into a spelling bee marathon? There's a lot of drama. It's like, is he gonna spell it? Is he not gonna spell it?
She still has to spell it.
That's correct.
That's how much we miss sports right now. At the timing of this video, we're only a couple episodes in, and in our opinion, it starts a little bit slow. But regardless of what you think about the documentary, it is incredible to see all of this old archival footage, as well as the access that the filmmakers had to some of the biggest celebrities on the planet. One review that caught our eye specifically was from Vice. The headline reads, "ESPN and Michael Jordan run the longest ever Michael Jordan ads." In this review, they say that the documentary doesn't live up to the hype, and it's really just one long ad for ESPN and Michael Jordan.
And there's a little bit of truth to that, and that's because that's how all media companies work. Basically, the goal of a media company is to create really engaging content, get your attention, and then figure out how to monetize that attention.
A documentary's ability to capture attention and get in the zeitgeist for 2 days, a week, whatever, that's worth something.
That's just how the media business works. But it's an interesting article and perspective that sparked the idea for this video, and for us to take a look at The Last Dance from an advertising perspective.
Let's look at who's benefiting from an advertising perspective from The Last Dance. Obviously, the networks, ESPN and Netflix.
ESPN gets the live rights, Netflix, then they eventually get the doc after like 3 months.
ESPN makes money from advertising.
I hope that ESPN is getting Super Bowl level money for the commercials.
Netflix makes money from subscriptions.
And they put in real money. I guarantee it was over 20 million.
And by the way, since this pandemic started, Netflix went up 16 million subscribers. So they're doing just fine. The second clear beneficiary from The Last Dance, the NBA.
The Last Dance has completely reactivated the NBA in a time where there are no games for the foreseeable future. I mean, this is a huge win for sports fans who have nothing else to watch or talk about outside of the spelling bee.
Everybody was on fire last night to watch this, almost like it was the equivalent of a live playoff event.
But ultimately, the #1 winner of The Last Dance is the Jordan brand.
Air Jordan.
Jordan specifically, outside of being the greatest player of all time,
Jordan was the ultimate competitor.
Faster, stronger, was more athletic.
Right in. Bam! We had never seen a guy that had all that in one package.
Also launched in collaboration with Nike, one of the longest lasting, most impactful, and greatest brands of all time.
And plus, Skip, what does he got? The logo, the jump man.
Think about it, a guy who's not on social media and hasn't played a basketball game in 20 years is still one of the most relevant brands in the world, and a brand that can bring in billions of dollars every year.
Skip, you got NFL players wearing Jumpman cleats. We've never seen a guy that had that kind of crossover. We've never seen that.
I am wearing My favorite sneakers tonight. Boom! Air Jordan 3s, baby!
The Air Jordan Retro shoes just went on sale early Friday morning.
We was out here till 1 in the morning.
I wear them so much that I sprained my ankle in them once, and I kept wearing them.
First shoe they came out with made a huge statement. When the NBA only allowed white to be the primary color of the shoe,
reinforced for me and me,
Nike and Jordan went with black. And when the NBA banned the shoe, they responded with an ad that perpetuated the bad boy rebel image.
The NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them. Air Jordans from Nike.
Then Nike's ad agency, Wieden & Kennedy, got Spike Lee involved in their ads.
Mars Blackman here with my main man, Michael Jordan.
After this came some of the most classic ads of all time. And a large part of the relevancy of the Jordan brand is tied directly to Michael Jordan and his relevancy.
So here's an interesting quote from Business Insider. Jordan brand sales dipped in 2014 due to a change in fashion and a lack of consumer connection to Jordan the man. The issue is, if his perceived greatness declines or if people just kind of stop connecting with Michael Jordan, then the brand loses some of its relevancy and some of its value.
Fans don't connect with Michael Jordan because of his beliefs, his likes, his dislikes, like we might with LeBron, who's super active on social media.
Social media is not the answer for Michael Jordan. The reality is the brand doesn't really want Michael Jordan to be relatable. They need him to be sensational and untouchable.
The narrative that he's the greatest of all time can only be defended by the footage that was taken over 20 years ago.
The timing of this was bizarre.
This footage has been sat on for 22 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it comes out, I'm like, why now?
Because they'd been asking Michael to do this for an extended period of time, and he kept rebuffing their offers.
Only deal they made was, we'll never do anything with the footage unless you say it's okay.
And the impetus, the catalyst for this special getting made, apparently, was after LeBron finished his 3-1 comeback with the Cavs.
It's over! It's over! Cleveland is a city of champions once again!
LeBron James was running, and people have started to say, I know what Michael was, but we've never seen anything like this.
So if the Jordan brand stands for greatness and people start to think it's not that great, that's an issue.
He can do everything Jordan could do, but better. Jordan's not the GOAT.
It wasn't until the parade in Cleveland.
Jordan picks up the phone, makes a phone call. He goes, it's greenlit, go make it.
Here we go. There's a message in this whole damn thing. He was royalty. He was American sports royalty.
So the Jordan brand lucked out. They have 5 weeks of our undivided attention to prove that Michael Jordan was and still is the greatest of all time.
If things had gone different, Air Jordans might never have taken flight.
The Last Dance is also attracting a lot of young viewers who don't know Michael Jordan like our generation or the generations above us.
And if you were born in the mid-90s, if you were born in the 2000s, you don't remember these teams. This must be even better for you getting to watch all this shit for the first time.
This is going to have supreme impact on younger people.
That Trae Young tweet is exactly what the Jordan brand needs.
Say goodnight, LeBron.
So yeah, in addition to being a phenomenal story and a great documentary, this is also a wildly effective ad, the likes of which we may have never even seen before because of the time that it came out. There's literally no competition for one of the greatest brands of all time. So it's no surprise to us that the Jordan brand launched a new shoe during episode 1.
Literally, the Air Jordan Fire Red 5 officially just did a shock drop.
The Air Jordan Fire Red was a surprise release that sold out immediately on the Nike Sneakers app, at the same time that the episodes were airing on ESPN.
It is 9 o'clock on the dot, which is the same exact time Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary is going on.
They even have the Nike Air logo on the back, and this is the first time that they've done this in over 20 years. That feels symbolic.
I need these 5s, bro.
Between the release of the doc and the release of the shoe, it feels like we might be getting back to that old Nike-Jordan relationship. A relationship that was all about storytelling. It was full of advertising that was brash and bold.
Regardless of what you think about the documentary or the storytelling or the people in it, this is one of the biggest advertising media plays of the quarantine era, coming from one of the most legendary brands of all time, and it deserves to be talked about. It is a job well done.
There is a reason you call somebody the Michael Jordan of, because Michael Jordan is the Michael Jordan of greatness.
The biggest question here is, how long can the Jordan brand stay relevant? Once the doc is over and the conversation dies down, how much storytelling and how much media do they have left to continuously tell us that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time?
It's the last dance, bro. It's the last one. It's the last
Ain't
dance.
another dances after
There's
this.
no more dances.
Can they convince the next generation of kids that MJ is cooler or better than LeBron?
There's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. I've been getting pressure since I was 10 years old.
So let us know what you think about the documentary, and let us know what you think about the Jordan brand. Have you ever bought sneakers? Do you feel like this documentary makes you more likely to buy sneakers? Can this doc really push the Jordan brand for the next 10, 20 years? Also, we always love hearing your suggestions for topics on upcoming videos. So if you guys have something that you want us to look into, to break down, to analyze, you can either tweet that at us or let us know in the comments. All right, time to go watch some spelling bees. Peace.
It's good to be back.
Here's Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls.
No, I'm not a newbie.
Here we
In
go.
fact, check the discography. A lot of people knew me from back when I was honestly a prodigy. But who's keeping track? It's hard to be mad. It's hard not to laugh at all these artists out here posing like they color me bad. It's all just a fad. I promise that it won't last. I see you in the rear view as I step on the gas. Vroom, vroom. So make room, make way. All these fake Drakes taking up space. I don't care what none of y'all say. Which one do you first place? I'm running my own lane, own pace. And who said this was a race?